Hey guys, obviously it's been a few hours since I brought you the last update about what's happening with the FTX situation. That was in our video over on our main channel last night. And now everything in that video is still very, very relevant and there's a lot of useful background in there. So I do urge you to check it out if you want basically the kind of deep dive on what we know so far on this situation. However, in the last 12 hours or so, quite a lot has happened. So I thought I'd try and bring you up to date with some of the big developments in this story at the moment. Now, obviously, the thing that most people are talking about is this tweet thread from Sam Bankman-Fried that appeared yesterday, in which he apologized multiple times and seemed to take responsibility for the whole, as he called it, shit show. But it raised as many questions as it answered. In fact, you might say it didn't really answer any questions at all. And one of the things that he talked about was that him and other FTX staff were working to find some kind of bailout, maybe someone who would buy FTX. Now, I should say at this stage, folks, I think that is very, very, very unlikely. FTX is currently under investigation by multiple US agencies. It's also under investigation in the Bahamas, which, remember, is where its headquarters are, its main headquarters. And we're hearing that authorities in the Bahamas have frozen FTX's assets there. Now, all this on top of the fact that there is a multi-billion-dollar hole in its finances. I do not imagine for a second that anyone is going to want to take that on. So I'm afraid that's obviously bad news for people who have their funds stuck on the platform, but we have to be realistic about that, folks. Now, another thing that SBF raised in this tweet thread, there was talk about Alameda research. Now, questions still remain over the status of Alameda. SBF said, quote, "It's winding down trading and won't be trading on FTX anymore." Now, this to me seems pretty vague. Does that mean it's still going to be trading elsewhere? Does that mean it's still going to continue functioning? We just don't know. So there's that to bear in mind. There's also on-chain evidence showing Bahamas-based withdrawals are being permitted. Now, this suggests that FTX staff in the Bahamas, and a lot of those staff will be kind of top echelon people close to SBF, that suggests that they are allowing withdrawals of their own funds. And if that doesn't make you absolutely red with anger, then it really, really should. It is absolutely disgraceful if it is indeed true. Now, obviously, a lot of people are worried about withdrawals. A lot of people are also concerned about FTX US. This is another thing that SBF touched on in his tweet thread. He claimed that FTX US was safe, that customer funds there were safe. Do not believe him, folks. He has lied before. There is a very good chance he is lying about that now. Now, we did see earlier on that some withdrawals were being allowed on FTX, and also limited withdrawals from some of FTX's subsidiaries in places like Japan and Turkey. Now, I don't currently know whether those withdrawal requests are being honored anymore in any of those subsidiaries, but folks, the message remains the same. If you have funds on any FTX subsidiary and you are able to withdraw them, then that is exactly what you should do as quickly as you can, ideally to your own hardware wallet. Try and manage the damage if you can, but obviously users of the main FTX platform, unfortunately their funds are stuck there and we just don't know for how long, probably indefinitely as things stand. Now, a couple of other things I want to draw your attention to. There's also the fact that USDT addresses linked to FTX, they appear to have been frozen. That is something we need to keep a very close eye on as well. And another thing that we need to be aware of is the fact that the attention of regulators and lawmakers in the United States over the past few days, that has been very much focused on the midterms. Now, those midterms appear to be wrapping up now. Obviously, we're still waiting for the results of the Senate runoff in Georgia, which could apparently take quite a long time. But what this all means is that focus is going to shift away from the midterms and most likely onto what is happening with FTX. So we can expect a lot more scrutiny from regulators in the coming days and weeks. And that unfortunately means a lot more pain, folks. So you have to brace yourselves for the fact that things are going to get worse from here. A few other things that I wanted to just mention. I've covered the business about these subsidiaries. One final tidbit that you may find interesting. Now, Kobe and a few others have been speculating on Twitter and elsewhere that SBF's tweet thread from last night, it looked and sounded remarkably similar to one released by Chef Nomi, who was the former head chef of Sushi Swap a while back when he was apologizing for doing something egregious. There is speculation that Chef Nomi and SBF may be one and the same person. Now, I should say that this is very much speculation at this point. This hasn't been confirmed or proven, but I do have an interesting slant on this. Now, our head of research here at Coin Bureau, a few years ago, he hosted a panel discussion on DeFi, and he reached out to the team at SushiSwap to see if they could send someone to join the panel. And who else did they send but Sam Bankman-Fried? So folks, as you can imagine, there is a lot more to come from this story. There is still so much we don't know, and here at Coin Bureau, myself and my team, we're going to do everything we can to keep you updated as much as we can over the next few days. So do stay tuned here on Coin Bureau Clips. Also look out for more updates on our main channel, and I'll be keeping you updated over social media as well. Thanks very much for watching.